there, welcome to or welcome back to Tiffany's Books, where I read books and I talk to you about them. Today I'm gonna do a vlog. I have done it already, but you're getting the intro now when the lighting is better. I have read 12 first chapters to decide what I'm going to read first in April. So the next clips are me reacting to the first chapter of 12 different books. All of them are ones that I own. My goal for this month, you can see some gaps in there. So if you remember that order, nobody really remembers that order. If you remember what was up there, or you go back and look at another video, you can guess what I am going to have read in this video. And I'm going to then decide, based on giving it like a 1 out of 10 intrigue, what I'm going to read first in April, because here's the thing. My mood readeriness is killing me. And I need to change something, because me trying to make a TBR has just kind of destroyed all of my enjoyment of picking a book in March and February a little bit too. My average, look, here's a quick little, my average for March was like 3.86. That is like the lowest, I have had in like my last 2 years, I believe, for like a month. Like that, it was a mediocre, it was fine month. I had an overall mid-month. So I need to read things I'm excited about. And now that I've done a 2-minute intro, I'm going to basically pick things that have been on my shelf for a very long time, things that have been in my Kindle for a very long time, and I'm going to read the first chapter, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to be reading. That is the plan. So if you are interested in that at all, enjoy the video. If you don't, that's fine. And I'll see you next time when I actually get around to a review. I finally have a little bit of time after work and I'm going to go start on it. If you want to see more from me, I'm going to say it now because I can. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the end when I decide what I'm going to read. Hi there. Welcome to or welcome back to... So I'm kind of reading them roughly in order of length. So I started with Aftertaste, which is odd. It's basically, it was very short. It was just this boy swimming in a pool and suddenly he gets like a weird taste in his mouth and recognizes it to be his father's favorite dish, or at least what his mother has told him is his father's favorite dish. It didn't make me want to read more, so I'll probably keep it on the back burner and move on to the next thing. Okay. Please ignore that. So I finished the first chapter of The Goddess of Nothing at All. It was fine. It was fine. I gave it like a 4 out of 10 on intrigue. Probably won't be my pick. I still want to read it, but I think it did a lot of like info dumping in a very short space, which made it not really the tempo that like I need at the moment. So I'm still interested in it. It didn't put me off completely, but for the mood I'm in right now, it wasn't that. So I'm working on this. I'm gonna go upstairs and read for a little bit. I've had a busy day or haven't really got a lot of reading done. So I'm gonna go upstairs and work on reading that. I forgot, I also read the first chapter of First Light, which I think I had read before at the end of Night's Edge. And I think I gave it like a 6. It was pretty good. I'm intrigued to see where the story goes, but some of the stuff I've heard about the story, I'm like, but the writing is so good. I forgot that the writing like really makes it easy to read. So that one is up there. That's probably the highest one so far. Good morning. I have now read the first chapter of A Study in Black Brew, which is a indie sci-fi that I have read from this author before. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to read the arc of their newest book, which comes out in May, and I was like, yeah. I enjoyed the first one. I said I wasn't taking arcs this year, but I hadn't put that like up on my Instagram yet, and I really liked like the vibe of the first book and wanted to read more, and the author's like super cool. So I was like, sure, I'll read it. It's a novella. They gave me like 2 months to read it, which is fantastic. So it's 150 pages. I read the first chapter. I'm super intrigued. I put it as like a 7 out of 10 on intrigue. It's about a chemist who, because of some health troubles and a disability, is currently unable to work. And that's basically where the story starts. So I love the representation in this world. It's like this really intricate alien world, and I want to read more of it. So that's high up on the list. Starter Villain by John Scalzi is the other one. The last time I checked with you, I was starting it. First chapter is super interesting. The main character is down on their luck. They're also out of a job. So lots of 2 unemployed people in a row. They are... Let's see what happened. They were a journalist. They're currently out of a job, recently divorced. Dad just died. Like, all of the shit just hit them. They're living in their parents' home, but they don't own it. Down on their luck, found out that their uncle just died. And that is obviously going to have an impact on the story. I know that the synopsis of this story is like rich uncle leaves everything to them. So John Scalzi's writing is always like really easy to sink into. It's really easy to follow. Yeah, it's also a 7. So the other one I read, the first chapter, I read the prologue of Salt and Broom, which is when I was a Prime member, every month you get like these like first look books. And so you get to pick from like 4, I think it's like 6 or 7 books. You get to pick one for free. I picked Salt and Broom. It was listed as like a gothic, I think. It was just like a letter. I wasn't super intrigued. I put it as like a 4. I probably could have read the first chapter too, but the first chapter was like 25 pages, and I was like, I'll just read this prologue and it'll be fine. So yeah, not sure. I've seen a couple reviews of it. I think I saw like Mother Horror did a review, and it was like it's a solid mid. It was fine. So that's where I'm at with that. Those are the 3 I'm about to do. This is one of the longer ones. I'm either going to do this, or I might do the Projector, which is another indie author, and they did just put up a, hey, like, reading my book and doing a review would be really supportive of me during the Trans Rights Readathon, and I'm like, oh shit, it is the Trans Rights Readathon. I'm really bad at readathons, so I don't do them, so, because they just kill my vibe, completely. So I'm probably going to read the first chapter of that, and sort of Kaigen, and then I will get to my physical stack. Okay, hold on, maybe I'm just going to read this whole book. 11 minutes? I thought it was like a novella, but maybe it's a short story. This is the Projector. Okay. Dark beyond darkness, heavy nebula, maybe in the time before there was sound, a mechanical pop-tick hum of sick hardware heard beneath your very first wail. But it is hard to speculate about the birth of nothingness, especially when it is your own. Bro, that's so good! Okay, so I just went ahead and finished the Projector. It was much shorter than I thought. It was actually really good. Rating it is going to be kind of hard. Like, I'm going to go on Goodreads and rate it, because I'm trying to do that for independent authors, because Goodreads is important for them. I don't use it for anything else anymore, but the few indie books that I read, I want to make sure I rate them everywhere I need to rate them. Hugin has opinions, so I'm going to rate it there. But here I'll just say it's very kind of literary. It is horror. It's not like, it's very quick. It's a very quick read. So it's hard to really say anything about it. It's, when I remember the author talking about it on Instagram, it was like liminal spaces and the horror of being trans and how that works in society and the stuff that comes along with it. It's been a while since I saw the other author talk about it, but I think it was really good. It was the type of horror that I like. It almost read more poetic, and it's something that I'd probably have to read again to really grasp, but I really liked the rhythm and the flow of it. I think it was really good, and it's worth giving it a read. So that is The Projector by Larkin Bryne, I believe. The little like 100% thing is covering up the author's name, so I need to open it back up so I can give you the author's like actual name here. Yeah, Larkin Bryne, The Projector, and it is like it was free. This is the actual cover, which I really like as well. So they just have it up for free. But yeah, definitely really good. Taking a break from reading with the most ridiculous pun and the most unaesthetic meal, but I just took the dog for a walk. I've got D&D to prep for. I just did some cleaning. We're having D&D in like 2.5 hours, I think. So I've got some stuff to do, working on my emotional support water. And yeah, I finished the Sword of Kaigen paragraph review. Chapter review. And I'm like, this is a 10 out of 10. Do I keep going? Yes, because I'm committed now to finish the other 5. Just 5 more first chapters. So I'm committed to finish them and give you a little review. But Sword of Kaigen is probably going to be what I'm going to read. Hello. I just got home from work. It's Monday night. I went in a little bit late and then stayed late. So it's like 7:30 or something like that. 7 o'clock. I don't know. Making sure the logo on my shirt isn't uncovered because this shirt is cozy and I don't want to take it off. I'm going to read a few more books. I kept debating whether I was going to stop at the digital ones because Sword of Kaigen was so good and had me hooked. But I really want to try these other ones. And I would just want to see how many I can get done tonight because I want to get this done. I still have to take the garbage out. It's time for me to put my taquitos in the thing. It was real good today and had like a dense bean salad for lunch. And I need something with some carbs for dinner. So I'm going to have some taquitos. And I have some broccoli cauliflower with like a light cheese sauce in the microwave because it's a lazy night. So anyway, I'm going to read some of this stack of books here. This stack. So I will check in with you in 20 minutes or so when I get one done. I should probably tell you a little bit about it because I think I told you a little bit about the other ones. Following Vern, she's just in the forest alone. Something is out to get her and she's just given birth to a baby. We've gotten like obviously a baby. Well, I guess not obviously. This could be a horror where she gave birth to something else. She's just given birth. I need to cut the dog's nails. She's just given birth and there's something chasing her. We've gotten a little bit of information about like her life and like the compound that she came from and stuff. The one thing that's making me hesitant right now is this is going to hit my religious trauma a lot. And I just kind of did that a little bit with Angels Before Man. So do I want to do this right now? I don't know. So that's going to be the question. Okay. I just read the first chapter of Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. It took me a minute to get into it, but after like 5 pages, I got the rhythm and the pacing, and I was like, okay. So this one's getting like an 8. There's a woman named Etsy, and she is trying to get tenure. She's a journalism junior professor. She's trying to get tenure, and someone has just found the journal of her greatest grandfather, she calls him, who was alive in 1912, and he has come across a murder mystery that now she wants to solve, as well as the mystery of him, because apparently he disappeared after he wrote it. So kind of intrigued. There's supposed to be like a vampire thing going on in here, but no hints to that yet. Love Stephen Graham Jones. So this is high up on my list. This is like an 8 out of 10. This is high. Yeah, we have a lot of good ones. Okay. This one, The Once and Future King, this is actually a lot easier to read than I thought it was going to be. I have a really old copy. The font is like actually not super small, but it is kind of small and the pages are small. This little book is like 630 pages, which is intimidating. It is dense. It's like Bible thin pages, but this is a 1968 printing. Which I think is super cool. So this is a Arthurian retelling. It's supposed to be one of the better ones. Like the one, if I'm remembering correctly. I really enjoyed this. This is like written with that like old fantasy third person narrator type of style where like the narrator is a character, has their own distinct voice. It's not the voice of a character in a third person type of thing. Which is kind of fun because it's like occasional fourth wall breaking. And it's just done really well. I think the original year of publication of this is 1939. So it's got like the Tolkien kind of vibe and that type of storytelling. So this is high up there. I'm more excited to read this. I've been putting this off for a very long time. I am more excited to read this. It's not going to be my choice, but I am now more excited to read this now that I know like the style of it, because I was worried this was not going to be for me, but I think it actually might be. This is like a 6 or a 7, I think. I did want to read the next chapter, but I don't think I'm in the mood for the whole book. We start off with Wart and Kay. So if you're familiar with the Disney Sword in the Stone, we have like the same naming conventions, and we start off with the 2 boys. So I was like kind of like feeling that like Disney nostalgia. So yeah, so we're starting off with them, and we're just kind of getting to know them. And at the end of the chapter, they take a hawk out hunting, and it's probably not a good idea. This is intriguing. This is like a 7 out of 10, I think. It's a hard sci-fi, so always a little less like, oh my god, I gotta read this for me, because it takes me a minute to like settle in. I'm still learning my way. But we have like a terraformed planet. We have a power-hungry woman who thinks she's like the smartest of all. And she is pretty fucking smart. And we have like a catastrophe. We're talking about using monkeys and a virus, and yeah, interesting things. I'm being vague on purpose because the synopsis does not really give away like what exactly you're getting into, and I was not expecting any of this, and that led to some of the intrigue, so I want to leave some of the mystery here. So this is high up on my list to like pick up. So I was also just chatting with a friend about it the other day, and he was like, oh my god, you gotta read this. And so far, most of his recommendations to me, the few that he's given me, have been really good. So we'll see, but it is on my list. I'm definitely more excited about this now. So I've got one more left. It's like 10:15. We're gonna make it. I'm not ready. Okay, look. I read the first page, and here's the thing. I definitely want to read this. Like, I really want to read this one, and I know if I keep reading, I will not stop. So we're going to stop. Because I'm not ready for this right now. Like, I want to read, I think it's The Oleander Sword is the second book. So I'm going into a high fantasy audio. I don't want to have a high fantasy in this. Yes, because my other option is The Sword of Kaigen. Okay, right? So that's my, 10. That was my 10. And I have so many, heavy books sitting here, right? So it would be silly of me. But after I finish The Oleander Sword, I will pick this up. That is my plan, okay? Because, look, you can't spell suffering without Fitz chivalry. That's how the quote goes. And we're back with fucking Fitz. And we've got Night Eyes and him, and he's like, I'm 35, I'm an old man. And I'm like, Fitz! Look, I know I say I'm old all the time, but I'm really not that fucking old. Come on, Fitz. Can I handle old Fitz right now while I go listen to the second book in the... Can I? I don't think I can. I don't think I can do both at the same time. And I really want to listen to that book. I really want to read this. And I don't think my brain can handle both at the same time. So I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go look at my list, and I'm going to make a decision. Okay, we're back here at the end. It's the next day. I took some time, and I really thought about whether I wanted to read Robin Hobb or M.L. Wang. And I decided that I don't really want to start the month with Robin Hobb. I really want to read. I really, don't get me wrong. I really, really want to read The Tawny Man, but I think I'm just not ready right now. My brain is not there. I started The Oleander Sword this morning, and I know that is going to be a whole thing. I know that The Sword of Kaigen is also going to be a whole emotional thing, but the fact that Tawny Man will take me into a 3-book series, and Sword of Kaigen is a standalone. I'm prepared to be, emotionally destroyed for a standalone. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read The Sword of Kaigen. I'm very excited for it. I'm going to read The Sword of Kaigen, and then I'm going to, in between, I'm going to read A Study in Black Brew. That's the novella by I can't remember the name. That is this novella by Howalt, Marie Howalt. There, I got it. That is the novella by Marie Howalt. It is a cozy space mystery, and I'm really excited for that. So I'm going to read that, and then I will get into the Tawny Man. That is my plan. I did just get a library notification that Faithbreaker is available, so I'm going to go ahead and put a hold. That is Godkiller 3. I'm going to put a hold on that and finish that series up. I know I haven't liked them, but I'm going to finish them up. Maybe things will improve. I'm holding out. I like the world. So that's my plan for this month. But what I'm going to do, once I finish The Sword of Kaigen, I am going to pop on here and I'm going to do a very quick, here's my initial thoughts, here's what I'm going to read next, and then I will give you my review of The Sword of Kaigen, and that is how we are going to do a TBR for April, and we will see if it works for me and if it works for you. So, if you haven't already and you want to see more of that, go ahead and subscribe, and if you like this, please give it a like. I really appreciate it, and I will see you soon with something different.